So now the question is, how can we use AI in education? Well, there's two approaches in which you could do that. One is doing the analysis of how well someone is learning based off of the key measurement points. And this is going back to Kirkpatrick's four levels of measurement, right? So do they enjoy training? Was it enjoyable? Were they able to stay engaged? That's level one. A simple survey will come back and say whether or not they are. AI can process that very easily. Next is, do they actually learn something? And that's something that you could argue based off of the completion of tasks, the completion of labs, homework, all that fun stuff, depending on where you're looking at for training and learning. Again, AI can go through and analyze that and analyze how accurate they are completing based off of what's expected. This is stuff that, answer keys and stuff have been doing for years, right? That's not going to be a problem. The next level is, are people able to do this at work? And this is level three. And there's, if you can possibly measure against this based off of certification exams and other methods of testing the work based off of what they've learned, and this is quizzes and stuff like that. In the classroom, you can do that. Outside of the classroom, in a live environment, it takes a lot more observation, and this is something that managers and stuff, if you're doing it for work, would be able to do the evaluation for and everything. And ultimately, AI could, in theory, gather this data either peripherally um, or directly based off of if you're doing like internal training and stuff like that, based off of meeting KPIs and all that fun stuff. So that is potentially possible for AI. So the final question is, have they been able to internalize and then move on with the knowledge in or has the purpose of learning been realized? And this is where, as a business, if you're going to invest in training, you're going to invest in utilizing learning methods and get trainers out there and develop curriculum and all that fun stuff. You want this is what you want. You want these business outcomes, and that is that they're going to be utilizing the process, or utilizing your service, or utilizing your product the way you expected them to utilize it. Okay. Indirectly, you measure this through customer health. Are the customers are their problems being solved by your product? Right. This is your success criteria. This is something that your sales team is going to go in. They're going to say, say, this is what our product can do. These are the things that you could resolve, and this is how we can do it for you. And what are the top problems that you're seeing? And we can fix this for you. We can totally do this for you. And so they make the promise. Customer success goes in and says, okay, so these are the promises that were made. These are the problems that you're having. This is how we're going to be able to fix it for you. So let's make sure that that is happening for you. And then you go through training, you learn how to do it. You go through support if anything goes wrong or you're not quite sure what's going on. You check with your customer success team, and they'll help you through a lot of your questions and make sure that you continue to progress and grow. Ultimately, if your success criteria are met, then you've solved your business problem, right? AI can do this to a certain extent, but it takes a lot of hands-on discussion and stuff like that to fill this out. So based off the responses of your customer success team, or based on the responses of the industry, you could come back and AI can then process that and do the analysis. So AI can actually take all these points of measurement and identify whether or not this is going to work. Whether or not training's being successful, and then what needs to be tweaked in order to make training successful. This is something that AI could do if it's properly programmed. Okay. Now, what about managing training, developing the curriculum and stuff like that? I've been doing a lot of digging in some of the curriculum auto development tools that are AI enabled, and kind of playing around to see what they do and how they work and are they effective. And I actually took a PDF of a book that was released by the Royal Yachting Association in the UK about sailing and autism, two things that are very important to me, and had them turn it into a course. And I'll tell you, breaking down the pieces, setting up into very specific sessions, and working through the process, setting up the lectures and all the documentation and everything, that was great. The problem that it had, and this is the problem that AI just can't solve, is identifying the end goal, right? Identifying your business outcome or your course outcome. What is the purpose of the course? Why are you doing this? It can take the content and it can break it down and make it look really, really good. But can it identify why you're doing it? And if it does, can it help you realize that through the questions that it asks, through the quiz question, the review questions, the way it presents the content? It could not. And I'm not saying this is a problem with AI in particular. AI is not able to read your mind. The service that I use didn't prompt for what's the business outcome, what is it you want to have people understand. And the few prompts that it did give were basically like one-liners or small paragraphs or stuff like that. So it couldn't really do the work of a curriculum developer. What it could do, and this is the benefit of AI in curriculum development, is it could break down the concepts into bite-sized chunks that, as a curriculum developer, could then utilize to refine and build and then target towards that outcome. So it gives you a start, it gives you a structure, a scaffold, and from there, you're able to build up and do what you need to do. Okay, so that's curriculum development. So anyway, those are my thoughts on AI. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post them down into the chat. I would love to hear your comments and know what it is you have on your mind. If you like what you see, go ahead and hit like and subscribe, and enjoy your learning journey.